Alright, back where we were. Back again to finish up this little 1S build. We've got the ESC mounted up. We've got the flight controller just about ready to go on. I got the motors in, as you can see, and now we're getting the crossfire wired up. And I still haven't decided where I'm going to mount this guy, but I'm tempted to try and squeeze it in right here. I don't know if that's going to work or not, and it might end up being a bad idea, but I figure I can take these two, the ground plane, and kind of run them at least some kind of way out and around the airframe a little bit to kind of make it work some way. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it goes well. But that's the plan right this second, is to try and get it so that it sits here, and or back maybe with the wires coming up like this, because yeah, so the front is this way and the rear is this way. Yeah, something like that. We'll work the kinks out. Yeah, something like that. Actually, what am I thinking? Yeah, we're running out the front here because these are the pads that I need to connect it to. This is for the camera. Yep, I'm being silly. Okay, let's get this guy wired in, and it is the standard usual fare. And in case you don't know, the Crossfire is right now, I consider, the best receiver, and that's just because it's so dead simple, right? As soon as you plug it in, it goes into bind mode if it hasn't been bound before. It's just ground pin, 5-volt, channel 1, channel 2. You can remap those channels any way you want. We're only going to be using 3 of those: the ground, the 5-volt, and the channel 1. And we're going to turn channel 1 into S-bus, because you can have the remote through the module tell this chip to produce an S-bus signal. You can also have it produce inverted S-bus, so I-bus, or just like DSM, whatever the hell, whatever Spectrum is using now. Anyway, so you can make it do pretty much anything you want through the user interface, and on top of it just being reliable and dead simple, I consider it to be far superior to everything else I've tried. And if you've watched, I build a lot of drones because I like to. Alright, get this guy clamped in for a second. Tighten that up. And we got the Hucko heated up, and you know what I'm going to do? I have some new solder paste here. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I get some proper Hucko solder paste? That way I can say definitively, oh yeah, I've used solder paste on the channel. Just a little dab will do you. Yep, like so. And we're just going to go, and we do not need to. There's one. And come on. 2. 3. Alright, let's get our wires out of the little baggie. We have the plastics, and I actually have one already, don't I? Yeah, I already have one. I already have one cut down. Yeah, I use enough of these that I have a stockpile of cut plastics. Alright, and Yeah, I had actually considered using the pins to kind of line this up, but they're too small for these holes. So that's how it goes sometimes. We've got red, we've got that, and I'm going to use yellow for signal. Because normally I use white for the TX, but the RX I use signal wire color, yellow. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to put these over here with my other bits, my spares, and we've got that. And we'll just go backwards from the way we normally do it. Ow. Anyway, like I was saying, we go backwards from the way I normally do it. We can. Fun. And that one's done. Then we do red for 5 volt. And that one's done. Oh, come on, get out of the way. Let's make sure we're still recording. Yeah, my camera keeps dying, sorry. I don't know. This series might turn out to be shit too. I'm hoping not, but we'll see. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. Yeah, there it is. So we're going to take this guy and stick him down on here, and then I think we will take and run this wire. Okay, and we'll run it under front. Oh, come on now. Don't fight me on this. You know you want to go together. You want to get airborne. And let's just gently massage that one. All right. Okay, so now if I squish this guy down on here, you get okay, just going to drag these wires around a little bit, move them into place. Yep, I'm happy with that. Okay, good. Looking good. Now, if we were to mount this guy, like so, yeah. Let's get the shrink wrap on it. And we will this down over. Yeah, that's a little bit too much shrink wrap. Oh, come on. Really? Let's go with that much less. Okay. And we are going to use our heat gun for once. I managed to wrangle it away from my wife. And that's it. That's all it takes. A couple seconds with a heat gun. Boom. I do love a heat gun. And works well. Yep. And if we run these wires up from the bottom, like so, we can tie these. Yeah. Yep. What do you think? Think that'll work? I don't see why it won't. Bring this out around up like this. Just four cornering, right? I mean, it's not like we're going far with this thing. Yeah. Oh, get out a little bit of the sticky tape. Yeah. Okay, stick this guy like this. And then we'll just slap it right down on there, like so. Alright, now if I cut these and solder this up, I can still get this off. Now I just need to leave enough room so that I can get it up over these posts should I ever have to remove it. Which means I should probably just move it up to the top. And then going to the phone, you know it's bad. Let's go here. We want the teeny F4 wiring diagram, because we want to make sure that we don't do something silly. So we have, if we flip it over like this, closest to the arrow is S-bus, then 5 volt, then ground. So let's do the ground one first. Alright. And we'll do 5 volt. And then we'll do ground. Or signal rather. Okay. We're doing just a little tiny 10 on these guys. Okay. Now, for the tricky part. Okay. Oh, come on. One down. Oh, come on. Two down. I hope to hell you can see this. Three down. Two. Good. Whew. Yeah. It's there ain't much there, you know what I mean? Oh. Damn, those pads are teeny tiny. And drink. Alright. Looking good. Alright, so we need to know, I believe green is video in. Yep, it says video in pointing to the green wire, video out pointing to the yellow wire. So we need to figure out how we want these run. And since this is the, nope, this is the front, like so, we're going to run them over and down. Do we have enough wire for this? We have just enough wire for this. Fortuitous. Alright, we are still recording. That is a good sign. And we are, you know what I might do? I might just use a zip tie straight off the back at a downward angle. You know what I mean? Be done with it, like so. I mean, like a full-size proper zip tie. I mean, what the hell, right? That can't hurt. I am going to clip this as close as I can to this guy. Done. We will tin to our heart's content. Okay. And one final one. Here. Oh, let's see. Alright. Good. Okay. Let's reconsult our diagram. The square one is ground, then 5 volt, then we want video out, alright, so I almost made a mistake here. This camera produces video. That video is going out to the flight controller on the yellow, which means that video in needs to be connected to the yellow, and video out, or video in here, the green one, needs to be connected to video out here. Be careful about that, because I almost made that mistake. Alright, let's get our yellow one, which is video out from the camera, connected to video in on the flight controller. Alright, and we want it to go like this. Yep. So we're just gonna do like so. We'll bring it up and over when we're done. Alright. Good God. Okay. Itty bitty little paths. And drink. Okay. Okay. The green one. Don't fight me, green. Don't fight me. Green. Green with the red one. Okay. Holy shit. I hope you can see just how tiny that is. Ugh. Alright. Let's make sure we still work. Flip this guy over. Yep. We can still get it on there. That is a very good sign. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we are done at this point. I think this guy is together. Unless you can think of a reason why it wouldn't be. Alright, so we've got camera, we've got the ESC mounted up, we've got the flight controller mounted. Well, almost. Let's go ahead and mount this. Let's call this done enough to mount. And I put away all my mounting kits the other night without really thinking about it too much. So we're going to run 1, 2. Let me see here. What do we got? Let's go with the larger-ish looking ones. Okay, so if we screw those, if we were to run these little guys down on top, okay, we'd have, I like that. Where's another one? I know you're in here. Okay. Good. That is tall enough clear that. Let's run these guys down on there. So yep, coming along. I think this build is just about done. Run it over to Betaflight, check it out. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a smoke stopper for this guy, because you know how it is. Oh, fuck. No. That's not good. Yep. Pinched a wire. Glad I caught that. Oh, come on, don't fight me now. Yep, just always be mindful before you go cranking down on anything at all. You know, just get it, like, get your fingers on it. Double check it all. You know? We're not in any real rush. There's no reason to force this thing to do anything funky. Alright, I'd say that's on there. Okay, now take this guy and we kind of do a little 180 over top of our stack. One, two. Yeah, you gotta love TPU, man. Won't fit? Force it. That's gonna do it. Yeah. Christmas time. Doing this on the, what, 22nd December? Went to my dad's. Got a very cool drone. It's a Holy Stone. It's not an FPV sort of drone. Well, I mean, it kind of is, but it's not like this, right? It's more of a cinematic type deal. It should be fun to fly around. I've never actually flown one. Something new to put on the workbench. Check out. I'll probably do a video on it, and then I'll probably build a cinematic here next coming months. Oh goodness. Let's see. We want to. Okay. I got a new boatload of shrink tube. This is 3mm. That ought to be just about what we want. Slide this guy down over like so. All right. Let's make a smoke stopper. So this is a smoke stopper meant for 2S or 3S or 4S XT60s, and I don't actually have one for the for what we're doing. So I'm going to make one. And so this will be where we plug our battery in. It'll go through here, come out through here. We need the correct version of these two. So we need one of these, and we need one of these. Yep. All right, and we don't need all this wire. And we are going to use our little clamp. This guy, just like so. Get them all tinned up. Okay. All right. The negative on this side and the positive on this side. Let's bring this guy. There's the positive on the positive side. There it is. Okay, good. And what this guy back in here, like so. And then we have this side. Just to verify, yes, they are connected up correctly. Yep. Positive is red, negative is black. If we were to connect these two together, the red and the black should line up, and they do. Good. Alright, now before we do this, I am going to check a couple of my pads. Because, you know, I check everything. And we're probably going to see some flight video. I gotta say though, I'm fairly happy with how this thing turned out. It's pretty small. And I bet you no continuity between pins, positive and negative. That is a really good sign. And then over here, I can already tell I got nothing going on. Nothing there. And the crossfire. Nothing there. Oh, what was that? No. Had me worried there for a second. I have this wired up wrong. I heard the beep. It made me wonder, why did it beep? And I'm glad I double checked, because and I'll show you exactly what happened. And you'll be like, oh yeah, I see. Alright, first let's get our camera mount off of here without destroying our camera or our mount. Come on. Up you go. Alright, there's one side started. There's the other. There we go. It's not like I can't print another mount. Alright. Yep. I looked at the diagram and I looked at what I had and I said, yep, that's right. And then I looked again and was like, no, wait a minute. That's not right. I got the diagram sitting right here. Right? And can you spot the error? When I wired it up facing me and did ppm 5-volt ground. So like this, I did ppm 5-volt ground, and I should have been doing ground 5-volt ppm. That's where my mistake is. Yep. That's what I did wrong. And I know why. I saw this arrow and I said, oh yeah, put the PPM wire or the S-bus wire next to that arrow, and there's an arrow there, there's an arrow in the middle, and there's an arrow over here, and I missed that. I missed it, and I almost made a snafu that probably would have cost me a crossfire. So let that be a lesson. Always double check. Always double check. There's no harm in being wrong before you power it up. And no harm in that. Okay. Okay. I'll just take it. After you power it up, all bets are off. Yeah, and I can't even guarantee that a smoke stopper would have prevented this. Because think about it, I would be shorting through the S-bus line. That's going to be connected 5 volts straight through. Boom. Done. Yep. And for giggles, we'll just double check it. Alright, make sure we got signal. Yep. And we should have no continuity. Then we got 5 volt and our ground line. Yep. I touched the probes together. And nothing. Okay. Good. I am pretty happy with that. Now we can see if we can get this guy back on here. Alright, come on. Nice and gentle. Okay. Just take our tweezers, push it down. 2. Oh, come on. And 4. Yeah, and you can totally put a screw or a nut on here rather and hold this in place, but the way this is TPU is snug on here, I'm not worried. Yep, that's got it. And a little rat tail coming out the back. Okay, let's figure out what props we're going to run on this guy. It is a, technically can handle up to 3-inch. We'll see. These whiskeys can technically be mounted. And I think I have the little doodads. That clears. Do we want to run this big a prop? 1402s, man. Let's see. Let's see if I can find some proper. Okay. Power off. Stupid phone. Nope. I think we're going to do those. I got a couple of packs of those, so we may as well, right? I've also got some of these weird beta FPV little ones. I've got 25 40s. I've got 20 40s. I've got 2 by 2.5 by 3s. Tri-blade. I don't know what that is. Yeah, 3 by 2.5 is a popular size for me apparently. Yeah. These are the ones right there. These are the ones we're going to run. I think that will be just about perfect. So we've got the label on the top and we are running props out. Although we could run props in, I suppose. They're on there pretty good. I'm just checking these. I'm just making sure that this guy is going to clear everywhere. I do not want to get these wires in there. Yep. Wow. That's pretty darn light. You know what? We're at 50 minutes here. I'm going to do a quick check. All right. $57 grams. That's actually heavier than than the other one I built, but it is 3-inch here. So 57 plus 450 is 70 grams. That's not too bad, right? I reckon that'd be alright. Oh, come on. Turn off. Yeehaw. 70 grams. Yeah. Alright. Let's take the props off. What do you say? And again, we still have the opportunity to swap these out and run 802s. So, if these are just too massive for this thing, so be it. Okay, and we're going to grab this guy. Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay. We've got red and red lined up, so I'm not too worried about that. Red, red all the way through. Alright. Let's see here. Where are we gonna get the green light, or are we gonna get smoke? Red and red lined up. That's it. We got noises. Alright. I'm going to take this guy over to beta flight. With any luck, everything goes according to plan. And we can take this guy out for its maiden voyage. That's going to be a lot of fun. I have never flown a 1S 3-inch propped quad. Fun. And I'll get everything set up. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the flight video. All right, here I am taking the Creampuff out for its first real hover test, and seems to be hovering okay, no real issues, and now I'm just going to take it down to the end of the driveway and back, just to make sure everything's, working as it should, no weird issues. And I noticed in the goggles, and you'll see in just a second, that these are not the right motors for 1S. Not unless you're running like, 2000 milliamp 1S. They go from basically full charge to, land now in about 10 seconds. So it's not the greatest, not really the greatest for what should be just sort of a fun little whoop. It's definitely too heavy for like a toothpick. So here I am, I'm kind of pushing it to its limits. Took it down to the end of the road and back, and now I'm just kind of flying around, and the battery voltage just keeps dropping. Here in a second, I'm about to put another battery in it. You'll see I think I actually end up crashing it here. Yeah, it just, the battery sags out, and I couldn't, oh no, I do make it back. But, the thing is just sagging like crazy. The battery, it has no power. It's not doing anything. Here I've got a brand new, like 450, no, it's a 650 milliamp hour 1S battery. And it goes from, whatever it was, 4.16 volts to 3.7 instantly. I mean, it just drops. And you'll see that's pretty much a common theme for the rest of this video. So yeah, please keep watching or skip ahead. And these motors are not right for this quad. And like I said earlier, I kind of expected to have to swap them out for the 802s. Once I saw that 70 gram weight come up, I knew it was just going to be too much for those 1S. So yeah, stay tuned for the fix video, and you'll see how the quad flies on 1S 802s, or 0802s. Let's just say it flies a whole lot better, and it doesn't drain the battery instantly. So all right, yeah, there's a good one. Yep, right there, all the way down to 3.12 volts in like 2 seconds. All right, I'm gonna leave it with that, and I'll be back with final thoughts. The Creampuff build was an interesting one. I bought those motors kind of on a whim, and I wasn't sure that they were really going to work with 1S. It said 1 to 2S on the website, and when I saw them when they arrived, I knew they were going to be heavy, but I'd hoped that, you know, just being able to trim down that weight to get a you know, sort of a super light frame on it, a super light, you know, ESC and board and everything else. I thought that I could offset that. I didn't realize it was going to come out to 70 grams all up weight on this thing, and it was just too much. I have a fix video as well where I kind of go back and I put some 802s on it, and it flies so much better. It handles like, you know, 10 times better. It doesn't drain the battery instantly. So, but kind of interestingly, we only go from about a 60-second flight time to a 90-second flight time. So it's still not the best setup. The having a stack, a 16 by 16 stack in there, in theory is good, but I feel like we've come a lot further since that with sort of modern whoops and everything. The RunCam Nanos, even these all-in-one boards are getting to be sort of or all-in-one, not all-in-one boards, but all-in-one flight controllers. They're super light. They're like, you know, 2 or 3 grams. The ultralight Nano RunCam Nano 3s. I mean, you're talking like less than 2 grams. You've got the, you know, like 2 grams in a VTX from TBS, and you know, you can even run Crossfire in the thing now. So you can, I mean, you do the math on it, and we're seeing whoops now get down to 20 grams. And that's for like, you know, $100, and that's ready to fly. You bind it and you take off and go. So, you know, doing something custom like this and not being able to come in close to that 20 gram limit, it's just not going to perform. It's just not going to do what we expect anymore. So it was a fun learning experience, and I'm glad I kind of did it, and I'm glad I did the fix, and you'll see that video here soon. But yeah, it just it didn't turn out how I expected. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for some more builds.